Hey guys, welcome to this quick video for Dead Cells, where I'm going to talk about the patch 1.14, who's the boss. So they've added new weapons, enemies and mutations. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get all those new weapons. I'm going to show you the new enemies in the areas, and as well how to get the new mutations. But before we start, I'm going to spoil all boss fights. So guys, if you don't want to see that, click away. But if you want to, let's get into it. So for the weapons they've added, you can get the Vorpan from the shopkeeper, and what this weapon does, it will inflict a critical hit if you hit the enemy while it is facing you, and this weapon will scale with your brutality. It is easy to find. You just go to the first shopkeeper and you can get this weapon. The Flint weapon is the Concierge boss weapon, what is identical to one of his attacks. So if you beat the Concierge after this update, you can get the blueprint. So for this weapon, if you hold the attack, it will inflict a critical hit and will create a flaming trail, what is identical to the Concierge boss attack. And this weapon will scale with your brutality and with your survival. The Tentacle weapon, what you get from beating the Conjunctivius after this update, it will ignore shields and project you towards the enemy. So it actually just pulls you to the enemy. And if you activate it again, you will do a critical hit punch to your enemy while you are getting pulled to him. And this weapon is also kind of identical to the tentacles of the Conjunctivius, and it will scale with your brutality and tactics. The Lightspeed weapon is identical to the Timekeeper, so if you beat the Timekeeper after this update, you will get the blueprint. So what this weapon basically is, it's the dash from the Timekeeper. It will dash you forward, inflicting some damage to enemies on the way, and you can also activate it again to dash backwards. And this will scale with your brutality and your tactics. The Giant Whistle, well, you get this from the Giant. You can get that if you beat him 3 times after this update. What this weapon does, it will call the Giant's Punch and will inflict damage to the most dangerous enemy around. Most dangerous according to the Giant. So a quick note, it does really good damage, but it can't hit multiple enemies. So it is specifically for that dangerous enemy, and it will scale with your survival. The Telluric Shock is from the Hand of the King. It is basically identical to the jump he does when the rocks are coming up. So it will leap you in the air and violently land back on the ground to inflict damage on enemies around. And it will scale with the brutality and survival stat. The Collector's Singe, you will get this from the Collector after beating him the first time after the update. So this syringe is identical to a spinning attack. So you spin the syringe around to inflict damage, and you can activate it again to add some DPS up to 5 times, and it will also add more duration to it, but you have to use some cells for it. What is not really a problem, because if you have all the items already, you can just use cells. And this weapon just train rolls through enemies in areas. So it is quite fun to use this weapon. And it will scale with your survival and brutality. So now for the new enemies. The Sweeper enemy, what is identical to the Concierge boss fight. And the location is in the ramparts. And he basically does the fire wave attack. And you can also get a mutation from this guy, and it is called Sheem. The next enemy is the Sewer Tentacle. This is really just a tentacle from the Conjunctivius boss fight, and the location is in the ancient sewers. They aren't really annoying, to be honest, but they cannot follow you on different platforms, so you can just basically cheese them, and these guys don't drop anything. The Automaton enemy, what is located in the clock tower, what is identical to the dash from the Timekeeper. What this enemy does, it is just stealthily in areas and waits for you to approach you and starts dashing at you. And after he dashed, he's going to teleport away and is going to hide again from you. You can actually see him a little because with the area you can see a little blurriness, so you know where he is. And this guy will drop the Predator mutation. Skeleton, what is located in the caverns. So this skeleton, so the attack is really identical when the giant is going to punch multiple times on the platform when he has charged up his arms. And this enemy is kind of really annoying, and this is the reason why I don't like to go to caverns. So let's just add a more annoying enemy to it. Thank you. But this guy doesn't drop anything, so it doesn't really matter. So you can just ignore it. The Royal Guard, what is located in the High Peak Castle. And he has actually 2 attacks identical to the Hand of the King. What is dash. And it will block all projectiles. And even if you parry it, he will just go through it. And this guy can drop the Initiative mutation. The Librarian, what is located in the Astrolab, where you need 5 boss cells active. And this guy has the identical attack to the Collector, what will just hover above you and attack you with the laser. And he probably just follows you around, and you have to dodge his attack. So this enemy can be really annoying to deal with. And he doesn't drop anything. So the 3 new mutations you can get here are from these enemies, and they will all scale up with your tactics. The Predator, what you get from the automaton enemy in the clock tower. If you kill an enemy with a melee strike, you will become invisible for 1 second, and it will get up to 3.5 seconds. And like I said before, it will scale with the tactic stat. Initiative is the next mutation, what you get from the Royal Guard in the High Peak Castle. And here your first melee strike against the enemy will inflict bonus damage, and it will scale with the tactics. And the last mutation you can get is the Sheem, what you get from the Sweeper in the Ramparts. What this mutation does is your next melee attack after a skill will inflict bonus damage, and it will scale with the tactics. But that wraps up this quick video how to get all the new weapons and what enemies they've added, as well as the mutations. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. If you want more gaming guides like this for other games, then you can subscribe to the channel. But guys, I thank you for watching. Now go get him.